Hello and welcome.
Welcome back to After the Weekend.
We've
Thanks
got a
for tuning in.
Yeah, we got a special episode.
I don't know if it's special because this is going out in a normal time.
Well, we didn't announce this one, so
We didn't announce this one, so it's a surprise. And a very good friend of the channel reached out to us, and she really, really, really wanted to review our movie, this next coming up movie. So the nice guys that we are.
Or if you don't like this movie, you can blame her.
Yeah. And before we introduce the movie and our guest, this is we're going live this Saturday, right? Right? We have a live show.
We are.
But
this will go after we're live. So since we're talking.
Okay, so this will be after the week. This will be after the weekend. After Weekend Harder.
Yes.
Okay. All right. If you're new, I'm JT Gun, and that's R2.
Yep, that's me. This is like that scene in Spaceballs where it's like, it's now. When?
Now.
Yeah. So confused.
You know what? Let's just make everyone else confused.
You're out. Doyle rules.
Well, judging by our background, I'm sure some people have probably already guessed what this is.
Something to do with clowns
and outer space
and
pies.
Pie and cotton candy things that look like when they're together they look like nutsacks.
I was gonna say a fuzzy light bulb, but
well, anyways. All right, let's go on and bring on the guest.
Yeah. Speaking of nutsacks.
We have Nicole.
Impossible.
From Used and Abused.
You know, the best part is she just told me about how wholesome our channel is, by the way.
Yeah, she was probably like...
I would say you are probably, I think, our most frequent guest.
You are.
Okay with that.
I'm not saying like a bad thing. It's like if this was like SNL, you're definitely like in the 5-timer club. That's for
5-timer club, and she's always in the chat, and she's always very supportive.
Very.
So we do appreciate that, Nicole.
Yeah. Andrew, After Weekend Harder with beard, dude, y'all are rocking it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Yeah, he likes to hang out with us. I don't know why, but
him too. See,
but you know what's funny is ever since I had him on your channel and our channel, he's a busy guy. He's like
everywhere,
constantly on streams. It's hilarious.
He's too cool for us now.
He started something, so
yeah. he's having fun. He's get to break his it's helping his personality. He gets to talk. So yeah, he's a good dude. So anyways, we're here for a very good reason. It's a spooky season.
It is.
And you wanted to review Killer Klowns from Outer Space with us.
I did. Yes, I do.
You are.
I am.
And
I've just been so excited for this one for so long. I wanted to do this probably for a while. And then, of course, spooky season ends and I forget about it. Like, I think I thought about it last year and it just kind of came and went. And this year I was like, I really want to do this. So,
well,
I was on a mission.
It shows how special you are because I do not like clowns at all.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
This whole vibe right now is literally terrifying me.
I was very terrified of this movie as a kid. I liked it, but I would have very bad nightmares. And I would go in my parents' room and I had bad nightmares for weeks.
This movie didn't scare me ever.
Now, as an adult, cheesy, love it, funny.
Even as a kid, I saw this far more as a kid than I did
Mm-hmm.
as an adult. And now the
What
one
is
thing
wrong
I
with
will
you?
say is, so you asked us to review this, and I was kind of like, this is an R-rated movie. You know, we really don't. If we do something R, we're very selective on
Well,
it.
I feel
And
like I think they changed the rating.
well, it's not an R-rated film. It's PG-13. I
Yeah,
found
Oh, it's
out.
also PG-13 from the 80s.
yeah,
Well, that's true too. But
right.
yeah, there's the thing that, if anything, that I was like, I can't believe I was allowed to watch this was there's like a lot of like sexual innuendo in this film.
There is.
Especially
A
at
lot.
the beginning when the guys with the ice cream truck pull up to Lover's Lane and their spiel to sell ice cream.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
There is one particular scene that definitely gave me the most nightmares. There's only one. Well, not one, but towards the middle end, and we'll get there when we get there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to review this with you because I want to know why it started. What
She
made
wants
you
to know
like
what's
this
wrong
movie?
with you.
What made you love this movie so much that you wanted to review this?
There's something about it. Maybe it's nostalgia. Again, I had nightmares as a kid. My parents actually literally went out of their way to make sure that I was okay with clowns again. Like for a while, like I would even stay away from Ronald McDonald. Like if we would see the clown like in the parade, and I'd be like, no, we're good. And I would begin to walk away from clowns. And again, side note, sorry to add this, but like my mom worked for a hospital. At the time, they were very personable and had picnics and all that stuff. And there was a friend of hers that was with the clown. And so my parents made sure, because of this movie, they were like, no, we want you to get out of this phobia. We don't want, you know what I mean? They didn't want me to always think they're scary, or that clowns were scary, that there were actually really good clowns.
No.
And also, special note, we come from a time when we also knew about Gacy, and Gacy was a clown. And so I think that also probably added to it. And that was on the news a lot. And if I would even catch a snippet of it, they were always talking about it. So he was a clown.
Yeah, I don't like clowns at
On
all.
top of Pennywise.
All I have to say is when you started off with that word, I wasn't expecting it to end in AC. I thought you were going somewhere else, and I'm like, what is she talking about?
But what I'm getting back though is my parents really made sure I went back and kind of, it's kind of like once you've been in an accident, go back the same route at some point, so you don't get like stuck in that funk,
No.
So,
and
I gotta bring up.
Tell me, take care of
You
that.
grew up in the Chicago area, right?
Okay, country. Okay, I'm from Illinois, but
Yeah.
the country parts.
Okay,
But I knew about it because.
Okay, so all right, Illinois. So I gotta say, because growing up, I think I'm a little bit older than you, me and JTR, but
I think we're about the same. But I'll take the compliment. We're good.
But at least because I grew up in Michigan, so
Okay,
not far, and so
Mhm.
I spent a lot of time. I remember watching WGN and
Yes!
Bozo the Clown on it.
Yes, I love
that as a kid. So I was
And
going to
Cookie.
say
No.
yes, and Cookie. That's right.
Cookie. I love Cookie, and I cried when I
don't know
found out in real life he passed away.
Well, there's been multiple Bozo the Clowns.
Well, right, but Cookie, there was.
Well,
only
this one says alien bozos on the.
Yeah, but I
poster.
was just going to say, did Bozo the Clown freak you out?
No,
Yes.
but no, he did not. That was the one that my parents. So my parents felt like they
Every
had
time a clown walks in the room and I see it,
I just was always like, I can do that ball in the bucket game. I'm like, these kids are terrible at that.
no.
grand prize game, man.
Bozo the
Yes.
Clown was kids' Price is Right. That's how.
Yes,
that's the best way to
exactly.
describe it.
That one I liked. I definitely liked Bozo.
You won $25 on Bozo the Clown. You felt like a millionaire.
JT, if you ever do a clown show, you know who to your desk.
I will never do a clown show.
Other than this one. So
This is the only clown show you will see me voluntarily do.
I'm the only clown he likes.
this
that is a
probably
fact.
true. What about the Joker?
I don't.
JV?
I mean,
You like
really
JV.
he's not really that. I guess he's a clown.
I
He's
meant
really a
not
clown.
that one. I meant the character.
I love JV. He's fun.
I didn't say JV. I said the Joker. Like like the very.
There's only one Joker.
In Mexico, he's the yoker.
Anyway, so this movie was obviously came out in the 80s.
Yep.
1988.
It literally just is 80s all over it. You can tell. And the music, the outfits, the way people are talking, even the film of it looks like an 80s horror film.
I found 2 posters for it.
You did?
Yeah, there were 2 that were very similar, but just a slight difference there.
Yeah, one says it's crazy.
Yeah. I'm surprised crazy wasn't spelt with a K.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That
really
should have
dropped
been
the ball there.
And it looks like the lettering of the killer clowns is a little different too.
Same font, they kind of
Moved it
angled
around.
it a little differently.
Mhm.
And then now this was the art you would normally find on like the VHS there on the side.
And the other one that you have there is what was on Tubi.
Yes, and that's on the Blu-ray edition, and I'll admit that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, they made it way creepier than what it really is.
Yeah,
That's
like,
like
at least
far
the-
scarier there.
And it's nothing like that, really.
Yeah.
And
But
the one on the left there, that's more 80s VHS.
yeah, that's what you saw when you rented this at the video store.
Yeah, with his Argyle sweater.
Now this has a cult following.
Very
Now,
nice.
I will say I did not find nearly as much fan art as I did it for The Burbs when we reviewed that last week.
Really?
That had so much fan art. But
Wow.
there was some pretty impressive stuff out there.
Yeah, that looks good. It looks really clean. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, especially the one on the left.
really
That
good.
was probably one of the best ones that I found out.
I like
there.
how this one shows all the different clowns because there were a variety of creepy clowns.
Yes.
There are, and this film has a connection to another film that we reviewed that you're a big fan of, JT.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
And we talked about that too. Do you remember?
Are you talking to me or talking GT?
Who are you talking to?
JT. Because
Okay.
we reviewed a film that, at least I think you had picked it.
Oh yeah, it's Aaron is Scared Stupid.
Yes.
Yes. The
Correct.
now I'm trying to think of their names because I don't want to guess because I'll totally say it wrong. The Chiodo brothers. Did the
Correct.
special effects.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you they were on something.
Yes. And they had done special effects for other horror films too. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were on something. So mushrooms or something.
now for being a low budget film,
Yes. Very low budget.
this had pretty good special effects even for the 80s.
Yeah, I mean the gun. I don't know. There was that scene. There was that scene. There was that
Yes.
scene where they're driving down the road and he's the floating clown. That looked completely fake.
Well, the special effects are far better than the acting in this film.
I think Mooney was the best actor in the movie.
Yeah, well, that was the only actor in the film.
Well, I think the main guy, he's like produced. He produced
A lot
Lone
of,
Survivor with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I was gonna say the brunette boyfriend has gone on to be a pretty successful producer.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't brag on him too much.
Well, he's not a good actor. He's a good producer.
Which I definitely want to go back to talk about the props because
Those who can't act produce.
I guess that's true. But yeah, Curtis Mooney, and he's been a lot of voice acting stuff. Like he was in he did a lot of like Batman animated series stuff.
Yeah, John Vernon. One has a great voice, but I would probably say the thing that I know him best from was he was Dean Wormer in Animal House.
Yeah, he's also the mayor in like one of the Dirty Harry movies.
Okay, like when he was like hauling like the punks off to jail, I was like, is he going to tell them that they're on double secret jail time?
Speaking of low budget, like you were saying, Nicole, the props are pretty fun.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. And the one was very expensive.
Are we going to guess the budget on this recording?
I do have slides for that. They're coming up, but again, this was just this was for I think the album, the music album.
Who do you think owns this? Joker? JV? You think JV owns this?
I don't know, but they did have a composer for it, John Massari there, and then the theme was actually done by the Dickies. That opening song.
I need to get me the hand puppets.
So, but you always like hitting the button for this. So if you do want to do the numbers,
yeah, we can do the numbers. Wasn't even ready for it, but yeah. So, 1987, and then released in 1988.
Yeah,
Nicole, you're really good at guessing on the live streams.
This case, I know them 100% as if I can take out their noses.
I will give you a hint. The box office is definitely a Joker's Wild guess there.
Okay. Well, this is when you comment below if you are watching. You can tell us what you think it is. That'd be great. And since it was really low, and we've done low movies before,
I'm really impressed.
I'm going to say
this movie did for what it was. It looked awesome.
I'm going to say less than $1 million. Far less, like 500,000.
How about you, Nicole? What do you think?
Oh, just right under 2 million.
Right under 2 million. Okay.
Rick?
Well, I already know. I did the slides. So.
Same. That's why I'm like, I already know because I could hit it right on the nose.
But the box office, you could pretty much guess anything there. That's for sure.
0.
I don't know how accurate my box office number is. I'll be honest.
$500 million.
It was the only number I could find regarding it. So,
okay. Well, what is it?
I'm just saying it. Whatever you guess, it may or may not be right or wrong with the number I have.
I'm gonna go 43 million. 43 million.
I think
1 billion.
43 million for a 43 million cotton candies without the humans, please.
1 billion.
So there was no official number for the budget, but what I could find was between 1.8 and 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Which today would only be 4.9 to 5.4 million dollars. So if you think about for the time that this was made, I mean, that's still a lot of money, and majority of that budget did go to special effects.
Well, they made if you're right on the budget, and if you're right on the box office, it did a decent job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think Nicole cheated when it came to the box office there on that number.
I admitted ahead of time. I said, I know this, like as if I'm popping the nose of the clown.
Now, I think that number that they had, where I found a number for a box office, I'll be honest, I think that was probably based on, that's got to be more tied to home video.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
because I feel like if this film did $143 million in 1988 when it was released, and even spanning to 1989, there would have been sequels here.
Well, maybe
we'll talk about that.
Maybe someone knows, and you can comment below.
Because that's a impressive earnings for that time.
Yeah, I mean,
so
if anybody knows, you could definitely.
I'm thinking that that's coming off of home video release and kind of
becoming
a cult classic there, that number. But if it truly did earn $43 million in 1988, that would be equal to $111.5 million today. So
look, yeah. I mean, who knows? It's hard to tell with some of these movies back then.
It is. But yeah, like I said, even for the budget that they had, that was a lot back then. Mm-hmm. And definitely, can see why the special effects were so good for a film of this. They did some, and we'll see some pictures of it, but they did some impressive, again, for what they had budget wise and what they were trying to convey. they had some really good matte paintings in this film.
Yeah.
I mean, for what they are, they did a great job with that too. So definitely the brothers who directed this, worked on this film, were very talented.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, and like we said, Ernest Scared Stupid. I think they reused some of it.
A couple of faces, were reused for the face. I read just 2, but I certainly feel that they had to have done more, because there was a lot of recognizable ones there. But here's the core cast. You've got Grant and Suzanne, who really I felt kind of
what a name. That's what a name, Mike Tobacco.
Yeah. Or I take it back. I think that was his name in the film, Mike Tobacco. I don't know how.
Like, that's a name.
Got away with that.
Yeah, but it's Grant Kramer, who has gone on to be a real successful film producer since doing this. But yeah, Mike and Debbie, that's who the main characters were. And Suzanne there, she was in Weird Science. She played the girl that Anthony Michael Hall likes. You would also recognize her from she was on Seinfeld. She played one of Jerry's girlfriends. She was Poppy's daughter, the guy who didn't wash his hands while working in the restaurant, and the one who he got upset and he peed on Jerry's couch and left the stain there. If you remember that, as well as she was in Fools Rush In. She played an ex-girlfriend of Matthew Perry's in that.
Oh my gosh!
She's definitely somebody.
I remember that. That's right. She was in Fools Rush In.
Yes, yeah.
She was the one that was.
She was the very waspy,
snobbish, uppity. Yeah.
Well, she was not snobbish, but she was, you could say, uppity. It definitely came from a very upper class family. But
Christopher Titus was in this movie.
Yes, he was the guy with the glasses.
Oh, he didn't last very long.
No. It's kind of funny too, just because his haircut is the opposite of kind of how you recognize him with that spiky hair. But yeah, Christopher Titus was in it. And then the farmer, who was just a redneck stereotype, Royal Dano.
I felt bad for the dog.
Yeah.
They killed dogs and they killed kids in this movie.
Yes, they killed a lot of people.
I know, but usually they don't kill dogs and kids.
Double sadness.
Stupid clowns.
Royal Dano, though, he has a very impressive.
Yeah, did a lot of westerns.
27 movies and 28 shows.
And him and John Vernon did a film like I think nearly 20 years prior to making this as well. So because I can remember even as a kid going, I know him. Like I just knew him. From movies that my grandparents had watched and things I had been around. So but something about this film gave me vibes from, if you guys remember the Jim Carrey film Once Bitten.
No.
Kinda.
I think so. Yeah.
And especially the Terenzi brothers reminded me of his two buddies from that film. They didn't work in an ice cream stand. They worked at a burger stand, but just they were constantly dressed in white fast food outfits like that.
Okay.
And then, of course, John Vernon, who was...
Love John Vernon.
I feel like outside of, like what they had left of from the special effects, I feel like that probably went to go pay him because he was the biggest name in this film.
He played the perfect jerk.
He was
awesome.
Such a crotchety bastard.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but everybody was ruining his town, so we know.
Yeah, but
and playing pranks on him,
accusing everybody left and right, and when everybody's reporting the same exact thing, clearly they're not. It's not true.
And what's the deal with only 2 cops in a town?
Well, it's a little town.
It wasn't little. You saw, like, if you saw. There was.
It had more stores in my little town that I grew up.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot bigger than it was supposed to be.
Maybe it was just the 2 at night. Remember, this is 1980s. Maybe they just had less. Maybe they were in other parts. Because remember, he did have to call for backup.
The state police.
That's all that they could afford for the budget. 2 cops.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you? Well, okay. Okay. What was it? Okay, this came out. We thinking this came out in the theaters, right?
Yes.
It did have a theatrical release.
And are
and
we gonna?
I do want to say that's coming up next, so we can hit our in theater.
Do you think it's gonna be around some decent movies, or do you think it came out right with?
I don't know.
I'm surprised this went to theaters. It should have just gone to.
So, MGM.
You didn't even flip it.
Oh,
what were you going to say?
MGM was behind this film, but MGM actually was working on another low-budget clown film by the guy who did Powder and Jeepers Creepers. Could not think of what that name is, but it did not crack the top 10.
Of course.
And this was from May of 1988?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I love Willow. Ooh. Beetlejuice. Moonshark was really good.
Rambo,
Good
Rambo
Morning Vietnam. Good movies.
Wow. And Colors. That's a good one.
Crocodile Dundee 2.
We had some really good movies in the 80s. I'm just saying. Like, good
That's
movies.
what we say all the time when we show.
Colors, that was Sean Penn and Robert Duvall. That was a cop film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cop gangster film, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the like late 80s. Mm-hmm. LA crime. And look, Friday the 13th.
Which is tomorrow.
Like the 7th one.
Ooh, spooky.
So, I mean, I'm surprised it didn't crack it because these are all good movies.
Yeah. So it did have a theatrical release, but where it was released and how many theaters, I could not find out. I could not find it on any list. So I'm going to assume it was probably very, very limited.
Most likely.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you're right about the 43 million that probably came from.
Yeah, that had to have come from
home
video release over a course of. That's probably not just from 1 year. That's probably from from the 80s up to at least over a 20-year span.
And maybe they also included it like on HBO or Cinemax or something that. Well, hey, get this, and so you can get this, just like they do with streaming these days, right? So
that's how I saw this. It was on, the pay cable channels. It was like definitely HBO or Showtime. Right. This is how I saw this, and then I also feel like this was something that was aired on like USA Up All Night too, or like
I don't remember
Joe Bob Briggs, like his monster show that he did. I can't think of what that was called on TNT, but this was a midnight movie, cable movie.
I think my friend had it on DVD or something.
Yeah,
we watched it. But I knew about it, but I just didn't know what it was.
Out where I am, there's somebody who owns a hardware store that's merged with a candy store. It's called Can Do Hardware. They also own a pet food store called Pet Paw that is also merged with a toy store. And the people behind it make me think of the people who made this film. They make these like facades of like cool scenery in these stores. Like there's a whole Harry Potter section in the candy store, and in this pet food store that's also a toy store in the back, they've got like a fake convenience store, and they've got a faux retro video store you go in, and it's full of like horror film merchandise you can buy, and inside there they had a Halloween decoration of the giant pink testicles that JT described from this film that you could buy.
Okay, then.
I think it was like $250. It was super expensive, and there you can see them in the film. There
they are.
I have seen them in Halloween Spirit the last few years. They sell animatronics that are full size, and it's like
I would say I think I've seen them. Yeah, they've come back because there's this weird thing that people
Well,
keep wanting to
these
watch.
guys were even like a main attraction one year for like Universal's Halloween
They
Horror
were.
Nights.
Yeah.
I think a few years back, and
well, and I know that Six Flags does Six Flags Great America. I know that they always do clowns during Fright Fest. So, and a lot of times, a lot of their stuff reminds me of the Killer Clowns. You know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that Universal also did it.
Yeah, it's just there's the makeup or the special effects that they did on these clowns are so good. They look really real.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of details in the faces of them, and
yeah, even the bodies are. You can see like this thing looking that way.
Yeah.
Or like how their ears wiggle perfectly. Oh my god!
Like the eyes move, the mouths move, and everything. And
that scene when the girl's eating like her hamburger and he's like trying to get her out. I was like,
oh, little girl. Yeah, this. Don't talk to stranger danger. Don't do that.
Especially a clown with the
just punch him.
Over exaggerated features and sharp teeth.
No, you don't punch them. You shoot them in the nose.
Oh, that's right. You shoot them in the nose.
Okay, it's just like zombies. Like the zombies, you go for the brains, and here you go for the nose. It makes sense. It's sci-fi.
Speaking
and
of
horror
clowns,
and comedy all together.
We have our first sponsor.
Prune candy.
Oh, too bad that wasn't cotton candy.
I know, right?
Could have edited it. Ching Pao, cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Yeah, I'll just overlay it with my own voice. No, the cotton candy was weird. It was like really sticky, and it was like that scene where he like found the guy's glasses, which was funny because when you lose your glasses, they never lay like that. It's
they were all folded up nice and neat.
Yeah, he just put them there. Whatever.
Yeah.
So that was a weird.
Well, maybe he had them nice and neat. I mean, they were up on Lover's Lane, so maybe he had them nice and neat and set to the side. You know what I'm saying? And then,
that's true. If somebody wears glasses, if I know I'm going to be making out with Mrs. R2, I put these aside.
Exactly.
I don't like to have my glasses smudged. So
exactly. See,
but now you don't put them on your car seat.
No, I definitely don't do that. They would be up on like the dash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, look at the one down at the bottom right there. That you can tell the detail in that clown.
Yeah.
And the scene that you're showing right now with the pizza, like that was what was that all about? Like, does she normally show up the door like that with getting pizza? Like, what is the deal? Like,
and how often does random pizza show up to her door? Because she seemed like, oh, pizza. Like,
yeah, like she was ready to go. Like she was like, oh, cool, pizza dude's here.
Maybe she had ordered pizza, and they're like, and they killed, the pizza man.
And I had to crop that photo. They had 3 pizza boxes for her, so she
because there was a clown inside, Shorty.
Yeah, I'm just saying though.
What's the deal?
That was a lot of pizza for one lady.
And they were very good at making things like
the shadow
out of
puppets.
nothing, like the what was it, the puppet show? Like
the shadow puppets.
I heard that was one of the director's favorite scenes to make. I think it was from Sci-Fi magazine.
It was definitely
something I had read up.
I'll give it to him on just that was something creative to do.
Very. I liked that one, that scene.
I meant to ask you because you're such a big fan. Can you quote what the old farmer said when he saw?
Why'd you take my dog? Or
no.
Oh, they hardwired
it. No, but he was like, "What in
She knows every line."
Yeah. I was like, I was hoping you'd be able to quote all that. Like,
which one? Like the tarnation? What in tarnation? Or there's Haley's Comet. Like he thought it was Haley's Comet until he got there, and then it was.
He's like, "We'll be flipjacking on a moon pie in no time." I was like, who wrote this? I was cracking up.
I don't know. It was ridiculous.
It's the 3 brothers because it was the. How did you say China? Okay, I cannot say it.
The Chiodo.
Chiodo
Chiodo brothers.
Charles, Edward, and Stephen. They all had something to do with this movie, whether it was directing, producing, writing. They all three
I
had
think
a
they
hand.
played the clowns too.
Yes, including Clownzilla.
Oh wow,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I could not find a clear photo of that, but that part too was creepy. The
Oh my gosh!
after
Officer Mooney.
Mooney gets killed and he gets turned into a
Yeah, that was a little
marionette.
strange. That was really
ventriloquist dummy, and then too he's got like the blood running down where it's
Yes.
like
That's the scene that gave me nightmares as a kid. That scene.
Oh,
I
okay.
think everything else really didn't, but that scene, I think it's because one, I liked puppets and I liked marionettes and stuff. And like I liked Pinocchio, and to see him like become a human puppet, I was like,
I remember watching this with like one of my friends, and he's like, he's probably got his hand up his butt.
Probably. Yep. And,
no.
and
Good thing
okay.
it came out bloody, because anything else would have been disgusting.
Okay, this tent like made a huge hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Well,
And then like
they're
early,
killing clowns around space. What do you expect?
well, like later on when the cop shows up, he's like, you told me there was a tent out here. There's no way. It's crazy. But there's a giant hole, and he had no concern about the giant hole. And he like arrests the dude for lying to him about a tent. But there's a giant hole he didn't care about.
But let's be honest, he was probably thinking of his ex-girlfriend, Debbie.
Yeah, but then he came and he saw
probably
the glasses with the cotton
When
candy.
you think
He's
giant
like,
holes,
I
you
believe
think of my ex-girlfriend. Where's the drums? Come on.
But
he
then
was being a better cop than Mooney, but he still needed to step it up still.
But then he saw the cotton candy with the glasses, and then he believed him. Like, he never even saw the clowns. But the cotton candy with the glasses, that...
Well, that's because then he realized like he had evidence. He had something to go off of.
Okay, well, yeah.
This is too much cotton candy to be in a car.
I guess.
Now
hopefully it wasn't like spider webs. So
I will go. They go into like the tent, and the tent, it's all just
pretty cool.
It's the set that they built. But I mean, again, like
the
imagination there was great and
unbelievable.
But then I'm like, they're just casually walking around like the tent, like
having fun.
They're not.
Yeah, that's what we would do if we went to a haunted house or a haunted circus tent. We'd casually be running around having fun.
That's what it reminded me of. It was like a
hiding from JT to scare him,
It was like a fun house at the state fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it also my wife mentioned it when she was watching. She's like, it kind of reminds me like the way they built the ship was like sort of the same out of what's that movie where they had oh my goodness, I'm losing it. Well, never mind. It'll come back to me.
It was very like the production very much reminded me of Star Trek.
Yeah, but the movie that made fun of Star Trek.
No. Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, so remember when they're running through the ship? Like, why did we even put these here? Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
It reminded me of that because like there's parts in that ship where they're like, why did they put this in the ship?
So maybe they stole from Killer Clowns.
Like, well, why do we have these giant
inspired by?
But it reminds Star Trek. Like Star Trek, it was nothing but plywood painted with lights and things like that. But it tricked you enough to believe like that was impressive. Like you
no.
Again, for what it was, I thought it was good. Same thing, like you can see, and I had to kind of crop these down, like the matte paintings that they put with these.
No, don't get me wrong. The sets were impressive. It was just remember, Alien came out around the same time of this movie and other movies.
No, Alien came out like 10 years before.
I know, and just saying. So,
well, so I know that Charles and Stephen wrote the film because they got inspired by one night they were driving past and they came across a clown in a car. That's where the inspiration came from.
Oh, really? Because we were asking about that. Like, why would someone do a movie like this?
I was like, did they go to that clown hotel in like Southern California that JT's shown?
Yeah, maybe. There you go.
Wait,
there's the ice cream guy.
Already without us. Maybe I was in the chat. Maybe I was, but
that was a year ago. Yeah. There's your ice cream people.
Yeah. Well, there's Christopher Titus too. in the bottom corner.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he has a beer can.
A can of
beer on it.
beer.
Yeah, and then he hides it from Mooney. Like, you know,
Well,
Mooney's
in
a
like the
pain.
80s, there was like before that they had like a grocery store would have like their own label. There was the generic stuff, and it was all like white labeled, and it just beer, chips.
That's
soda.
probably a lot better.
Yeah.
And then the outfits with the two main characters, like she's in like it's supposed to be cold apparently. She's in some light sweater, and he's in like
The Kmart
Well,
Cosby collection.
yeah. Like, what is he cold or something? What's going on?
And so the reason why I just remembered this fun fact about the casting real quick and why it was so low. Part of it is because of their budgets being so tight that they actually had family and friends. So most of these people they already knew, and they were just kind of like, yeah, let's do it. And giving people like an opportunity and things like that.
Family and friends. Okay.
Family and friends. True.
Right.
True.
Well, I was gonna say like that. I mean, that their outfits are very much of the time, though.
Yeah, this is true.
He
And
just seems like he's cold.
Gene Warren Jr. Was actually who did special effects on this was their next door neighbor. Literally,
wow.
People they knew. That's called networking. That's smart.
It is.
That's what you do.
I mean, again, definitely with the budget that they had. I mean, they squeezed every nickel into this.
Yeah, they did
with making it. And again, it's
sure
cheesy
did.
as could be, but I'm also impressed with what they put together.
And I like how the ice cream dudes they saved the day in the long run. I love that. In the long run,
but they were. I don't know.
They kind of nuked the fridge before nuking the fridge. I felt like a little bit.
Well, this ending was better, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm probably jumping ahead. So
no, it's fine. This is kind of it for slides. I think I have one other picture, but that's kind of related to trivia. This was filmed actually in the area that my wife grew up in California, in Watsonville, and the Santa Cruz Boardwalk was partially used for some of the scenes.
Yeah, the amusement park.
Yeah. So she was 5 years old when they were making this film, so it's not like
was she in it?
She was not in it.
That's too bad.
I'll be honest. When I've gone down there, I have never seen this many white people. So
a lot of out of towners.
Yeah.
So I had heard, and I've seen and read in several articles as well, that the ending wasn't supposed to be that ending. They actually had it so Dave, I think it was going to be Dave, he was going to die, and it tested badly, so they went back and kept it on the happier up note and left it happier, and then it worked.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I had a picture of it, but you know what? I might have had some troubles with the pictures I was taking. They were not loading right, so maybe I accidentally lost the slide. But the Clownzilla at the end was actually intended to be stop motion animation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they could not budget it, so they went with.
I'm glad they didn't. I think it worked. I really do. Like when his nose pops, it's like, woo! What a party.
They went the Godzilla route with it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I do like it, and the fact that the director, I think was it the director? It was one of the three brothers. I thought.
Yeah, it was one of the brothers did perform as Clownzilla. As a kid, it was epic. As an adult, I'm like, this is silly.
I know it's cheesy horror, but it's still one of those nostalgic things. Maybe it was therapy in itself, so I could overcome my thing for clowns.
This is a group film, you know.
It is. You should watch it with someone, because if you don't, you're gonna turn it off.
Well, especially if you know somebody who loves this, I can imagine that makes this experience a lot better.
Well, make sure you also have pies and a pie fight. Why not?
And cotton candy.
We'll save the cotton candy, which they did use real pies in the movie, and they were supposed to have soapy something.
Were they berries and cream pies?
Yeah.
Were they berries and cream pies?
Maybe.
berries and cream. Oh, hurrah! Berries and cream, berries and cream. Oh, I love berries and
We were terrified when he did that day. It was Soupy Sales, who was a kids
Thank you.
entertainer who
Mhm.
he was known for being hit with pies. But
Mhm. Too
even
expensive.
well, not only that, but even in the 80s, they're like, I don't think any
Well,
people that this film is geared towards will know
Mhm.
who the hell Soupy Sales is.
Mhm.
No.
And
So you have some fun facts, you said? More? Besides your wife?
Me?
Fact?
No, I've
Oh.
told it. I think maybe Nicole does.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I do know real quick. So going back to the sequel, okay, this has been the sequel known from like Clown Hell. They've been trying to do a sequel since 1988, and this thing's just, I don't know, whatever keeps happening. There was supposed to be a video. Sorry, not video, a video game. Sorry, yes, video game that's supposed to come out this year, early 2023, and hasn't yet released. It's supposed to be coming out on Xbox and things like that. So there's supposed to be other stuff, and I've heard like possible sequel stuff is where it's supposed to be Dave, grown up, and or not Dave, Mike, where he's grown up and maybe people think he's crazy, he's in the town, and then they start doing their own thing. So there has been talks of a sequel. That's why I said at the beginning, I'm like, oh, no, we'll save it for them, because I knew that there was supposed to be a sequel.
I think
And
one
they've
of the
been
clowns
trying.
took R2.
I think so. I hope it wasn't Shorty or Slim. I mean, it could have been Fat. I mean,
His audio died or something. He
no.
got sucked up by the audio clown.
Yeah, they probably put that long, crazy. They probably cocooned him and put the silly.
Yeah, he's
sound
probably getting his
stuff.
he's probably getting his guts sucked up right now.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he
Killer
probably saw the
Klowns.
puppets and probably was like, "Oh yay, let me go play with those instead."
Yeah, one of the other things that kind of tripped me out too was the popcorn. How that turned into the weird snake clowns. Yeah.
You didn't like that, or you did like that?
No, I don't like anything a clown related of this.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's a fun movie. It does give you the EBGBs. It could creep you out a little bit. It could go. What?
So it does do its job. See, so because it is sci-fi, hence it's like killer clowns instead of zombies and kill their noses with their brains. Horror because, well, hello, creepers, jeepers. Do you see them? People run from clowns these days half the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then comedy. I know it was cheesy. The comedy was cheesy. Okay, there's your cheese, but it's 80s cheese, and
it is. It's if you wanted to like watch a 80s
Mhm.
horror film, this would be right up there with like Critters and a few of the others. So, I am, yeah. I mean, if you want to make this one of your Halloween or spooky time movies to watch, you can definitely do that. I really think he got sucked up by the clowns. I think he's out. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he
I
is.
had audio trouble.
It's okay.
No,
we were creating
we
scenarios.
saved you. We saved you from the clowns.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did.
Play along here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we saved you.
And you made it just in time to where I can share
Can I
a very cool
say,
site.
Like I popped a clown nose.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did pop the clown nose. So I do have some cool stuff.
Yeah, you have some show and tell.
I
Oh.
do.
So I'm gonna make you big here so you can kind of
Yeah.
Whoa! I'm gonna look like the other ones.
look
So
at
I'm making
that.
crossbodies.
So you
I
are a
actually
big
have a
fan
mug.
of this movie.
But this is my favorite. This is it. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Wait, what was that the tent from though?
Oh, that's the gun.
Oh, it is.
Cotton candy
cool.
gun.
Where did you get that?
Spirit of Halloween. And actually, I didn't think it was too overly expensive. Which, by the way, the most expensive prop used on Killer Clowns from Outer Space was over $7,000.
Wow.
I'll keep playing with it. I'm gonna have to give me a second one to keep one in the box and one to play with. And the other one is actually just a purse. It's a crossbody. It's a purse.
Wow. Who knew
And I
you were
just
such a
have it.
fan of this movie?
Okay.
No,
I was
you
gonna
guys
say
don't understand. Like
that-
Spirit of Halloween has kept stuff every last couple years. It's a cult. It's a cult classic. It's a following.
Yeah.
that,
I know it's not
that-
because you're not into clowns, and that's
It's
But
okay.
that cotton
I
candy
understand
gun
though.
is impressive. Like that's
oh
one
my
of like
gosh,
the most
you guys
impressive.
see this
Like
detail? The detail is amazing, and the price was like $30. Okay, $30, and it was worth it. And I will also note, my daughter likes this movie.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the most impressive thing is the fact that that ring spins around on it. Like, I figured that was just gonna light up.
You're a bad influence.
All the details. It's like one of the rare movies her and I both like together. So we're letting it be.
Okay.
So,
well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Good job. That's awesome.
I want the other one, but the next one up, it's pretty expensive. So it's like, do you want a lightsaber or you want that?
Well,
I thought there was like another like killer clowns prop that you wanted.
I think you can get I think you should get one of their heads.
I could, but
and you can wear that on one of Rose's streams.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not really my thing.
Well, I'm glad you shared that with us. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And thank you for watching, because I now, knowing that you don't even like clowns, I'm like, well, shoot, I probably wouldn't have asked. Well, I just thought you guys would be like up for it.
I can watch it. I just knew I was a little uncomfortable. It's okay.
Well, appreciated. How was your wife? Was she comfortable? Was she good?
She's like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, I was going to say, I can only imagine what your wife said about this film.
She's seen bits and pieces, but she never watched it fully through. And she was like, what am I watching? But yeah, anyone out there.
What was the face you made while you watched this? That's what I want to know.
Just what? Like, why?
I feel like there was like a disgusted look on your face.
I think if they were in the house, I would be a little bit more concerned, but it's okay. That's why my kid will never have a clown birthday. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did talk about clowns with Uncle Buck too.
We don't say that here.
Now I kind of want to like drag you to a circus.
No.
I mean, I've been to circus. I just avoid
I'll go.
Clowns. All right. Anyways, I do have something to share with you, and I think it's really cool before we end up and do our final thoughts. But I'm sure you've seen it on, if you watch us, you probably watch the Salty Nerds. They have a new friend that they like to share and talk about. It's a website called Criticalist, and we're out there now. We have an account. So basically what this site is a site where you can go review your own movies. You can post movies. You can write your own reviews. You can follow other reviewers in the community. I think they're just kind of getting started here. But you get little,
Did I see the word friends with benefits?
Yes.
Oh, that's quite the exclusive additional.
Yeah, you can get
Nicole, come be our friend with benefits. Come on.
You can get badges for reviewing things. You can make your own list. We don't
need badges.
Yeah, you can make your own list.
And I don't need a badge. I just want to do it just so I do it.
Yeah, so I'm starting to edit some of our lists based on our past reviews. Rick has to go in and kind of prove some of it too, because I'm kind of like going through.
Do you just add videos, or do you write? Or
no, it's all written. It's all written reviews. There's no videos. So like if you want to see an example of a review, like here's one here. So basically you kind of rate it based off this little bar, and you can and other people can comment on your reviews. They can like it. It's actually really fun, and it's becoming a really fun community. Everyone's pretty positive over there. As far as what, as you can see, these are some of the movies that we have reviewed on this channel. So I'm doing my best effort to go over there and do them all. But yeah, it's a fun site. Like I said, you can go to Criticalist, make an account, and then when you're there, like I said, you get to see everybody else's reviews. You can review new movies, old movies. You can be part of groups. You can do all kinds of stuff. So it's actually really cool. So if I clicked on this, you can add your review. And you can find out like the actors on it. It's a really fun site. It's a really has an app as well. So I do recommend you check it out.
Are people able to leave like comments and stuff, or how does that work?
Oh yeah. So once you write your own review, they can comment on your review. They can, I like this movie, or like they can say I thought this movie was so. So like if we all three
so is the nicest thing you could say.
If we all three did Killer Clowns, well, we would all have. I would be the one that
we would.
It was okay.
What would you give it, Nicole?
I don't know. How many cocoons? I don't know. Like maybe like
how many pies?
Would be like maybe it'd be like 3.5 to a 4. But remember, this is for me is nostalgia. This is more like, and again, maybe it was clown therapy just to help me get through it and like clowns again as a child after I didn't like clowns for a while as a child.
I would give it 3 pies out of 5.
I'm going to give it 2 pies.
Oh, pies. We're doing pies. Okay, like I'd give it like a 3.5 pies.
Wow, I would have assumed you would have said 4 pies.
So our score on Criticalist
depends on how hungry I am.
So our score on Criticalist would be 3, the average. So that's probably what I'll put it at. So yeah. Anyways, Nicole, this has been awesome hanging out with you and talking about this ridiculous, terrifying clown movie. And I do want either you or R2 to buy one of those heads and wear it on a stream.
It's got to be Nicole. I wouldn't buy that. I'm sorry. You know what though? If I saw that gun somewhere, I might be tempted to get it just because.
I'm telling you, and they're very affordable.
He's gonna go find one. He'll find it. He'll find one.
The price, yeah, I was impressed.
He'll find it. So final thoughts, Nicole, on this movie.
Well, thank you, Juan, for having me on. This has been a great time, just hanging out, just chit-chatting about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I really did appreciate it because it's just fun. Final thoughts. Again, this for me was just a fun, cheesy horror movie that I can just put on, enjoy on a rainy, spooky day, with or without friends or with or without family. I would not recommend eating cotton candy during this movie, just pies.
Okay.
Next time I see JT, I'm going to make him watch this and we're going to eat cotton candy.
Why not pies?
It'll melt you. I mean, take the popcorn.
JT likes popcorn, so
I do.
I do too. I do too. So we just ruined cotton candy, pies, and popcorn for him all in 1 hour.
Added extra to the clown. All right. So anybody who hasn't seen this movie, I'm pretty sure Beard of Liberty has not seen this movie, so he should go see it.
I think I felt like he had seen it.
I want his thoughts if he's seen it.
Anything that's obscure, he seems to have seen it. It's all like the big films. He hasn't watched them.
Man, I want his thoughts if he's seen it. That'd be good to see.
Well, you could ask him on Saturday. So.
Nice.
All right, folks. Again, thanks for stopping by, watching our review of this fantastic movie. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and check. You can also check out the other Red 5 channels out there. They were fun, like
Used and Abused.
Like Used and Abused. You can find Nicole out there. So
I gotta ask though. I don't know what Red 5 reading is. Is that?
So I am spearheading. So we actually have a book club. Don't know if y'all knew this. I did not know this until about a month or so ago, and I'm like, "They're what?" So they started it however many years ago, and it didn't take off. Whatever happened, right? And I'm like, "How did the bookworm not know this?" And but at the same time, I realized I was with a different book club at the time, so I'm like, "Well, maybe because of that." And with some blessings from the former one, I kind of went, "Hey, let me spearhead this. Let me start this." So now we're doing Red 5 reading book club, and starting in November, we're going to start reading Heir to the Empire.
Awesome.
It'll be Star Wars, but there will be other books that we'll be reading along the way, depending on how people vote after this. So I'm excited.
I actually own that book.
Yes, you can come join. It's going to be, for the first one, we're going to do it through both November and December. So it's not going to be, I mean, I think that'll work out.
Well, I only buy books that like look like I can read. I can't read.
Audio.
All right, Rick. Anything you want to add to before we send off here?
I was gonna say I do. This is not like a favorite of mine, but it's not a bad film. I think if you haven't seen it, it's worth watching it once. Like I said, if you if you know somebody who's a fan of it and you haven't seen it, I think it's probably even better to watch.
Yeah, do that
with them for sure. If you don't like clowns, then yes, you may not like this film. But hopefully you'll have checked out our Weekend Harder show this Saturday. Looking forward to that. I think we do have a guest for that too, don't we?
Yeah, Tyler the Redbeard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. Tyler the Redbeard. So he doesn't like me, but I'm sure it'll be a fun show.
Okay.
That's a joke. No.
Alrighty, on that
joke
note,
that
we
he
are.
doesn't like me, but that's not true.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find out Saturday.
Yeah, we'll find out if it's true or not, but I'm pretty sure it's that.
Alrighty, folks. Again, thanks again. Hit the like and come watch us live on Saturday. That should be fun. And we'll talk to you later. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.